Welcome to Easy3 Sport Production. I'm your host, Suttles, and before we get started, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that sub button. Make sure at the end of the video, you click that like, and make sure you leave your comment in the comment section. I want to hear what you got to say about this particular subject. Now, without further ado, let's get it. Kevon Thibodeaux, my favorite guy in this draft class, and it's looking more and more like the Giants are going to get him. I'm feeling happy about that. So it's been a lot of reports coming out. Kevon Thibodeaux, he sat down with the Giants, and he absolutely loved it. He said that they gave him a really hard time, asking him a lot of questions about his passion, about, the football knowledge and everything that he's came through and everything he has accomplished and what got him to this point. Giants are really doing their due diligence to make sure if this guy does drop in the draft, which I believe that he will, we'll talk about that a little bit later, that he is the guy for New York. And at 6'5", 258 pounds, this guy is an absolute beast. He put on a show at the Combine. He actually left when the D linemen was doing their drills, and the reporter asked him exactly why he was putting on his pants and why he was leaving, because he wanted to show his versatility. He didn't just want to do the D lineman drills and then having to come back and do the linebacker drills. He wanted to do it one on his pro day where he could put them all together and really show his versatility to the world. But he put on an impressive showing with his with the 3-cone drill. He looked like an absolute beast, and he proved why he has been the #1 prospect for the last 2 years in this draft class. Now, this year coming up, Aiden Hutchinson, he had a pretty damn good senior year, and people have been saying that he's going to be #1. I've seen some mock drafts where even Evan Neal is going to be #1, but overall, we know who the real #1 prospect is, and that is Kevon Thibodeaux. He is head and shoulders above everybody on an elite level. Looking back on his film, he is an absolute monster. He is an elite pass rusher, and that's what the Giants need. The Giants have been missing that ever since the Strahan, Tuck, O.C. Manura, even JPP days. We've been missing that elite guy who can really put the pressure on on the offensive line and get to the quarterback. Now, a year ago, we have seen Leonard Williams really have 10.5 sacks, but that was with Dalvin Tomlinson. And now when Leonard Williams literally got double-teamed, he didn't look so good. Now, we drafted Azeez Ojulari. He is a really good fit for what we're trying to do, and I believe that he is a #2 pass rusher, especially since he had 8 sacks this season. Quincy Roche is good in the rotation, but we don't have that one guy that demands the respect of everybody around the league, and that's what Kevon could do. Not really worried too much about the secondary. The secondary doesn't have to be elite when you have an elite pass rush. When you have an elite pass rush. Kevon Thibodeaux, if he's drafted to the Giants, he will make such an impact. I believe he will make the kind of impact that Micah Parsons made for the Dallas Cowboys defense. That's how good this guy is. An elite pass rusher. He knows exactly what to do. He's able to stuff the run. He's able to really set the blockers up for later on in the game and still be an impact player. Now, he struggles in pass coverage just a tad bit. He does have an injury history, and you would like to see him finish tackles a lot better than what he does. But when we're asking him to go get to the quarterback, that is your job, he's going to be an elite prospect for us. He's definitely going to work in this Wink Martindale system. Now, there's been a lot of questions out here, of course, because he is such a highly touted prospect. They're always going to nitpick. They're always going to try to find something wrong with what's going on, and right now it's a question of his passion. Does he really want to be an NFL player? And he put a lot of those things to bed. He was just talking about he's from LA, he's from a big city, so he knows what the type of pressure is. The sacrifice that it took for him to get to this level, if he didn't love the game, he wouldn't have made those sacrifices, point blank period. Now, for me, I see that that's just a lot of bluff. I see this happen with all kinds of prospects. Every single year, they always try to question their passion for the game and to really break down to see, is this the guy or is he just out here for money? Which, when you're investing so many millions, you're definitely going to have to do. But for all that, it's just all smoke with Kevon, man. This guy is too great of a talent, too talented as a player, and just too passionate just to be there just for the money. A lot of them is comparing him to Jadeveon Clowney. I don't see that. He is not a Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney, I remember specifically when he came out, I knew that he was not going to be that good simply because of the way he conducted himself at South Carolina, such as when he broke onto the scene and then once he had to stay that extra year of how low of a motor that he was doing. He knew that he was going to the NFL. He was making business decisions out there. He wasn't playing his hardest. So you knew that he had that switch where he could just switch it off anytime. But when you get to an elite level like the NFL, you can't just switch it off and switch it on. You always have to be on. And Kevon was never like that. You never seen that in his game. You never seen him literally just lie down and just be like, you know what? I know I'm going to the NFL. I know I'm about to make millions. I'm just going to chill out. No, he plays hard every step of the way. The best prospect that I've seen that mirrors this guy is Khalil Mack. When Khalil Mack came out, he had the same type of motor that Kevon did. He had the same build. They had the same type of attributes that they both really mirror. The only difference is Kevon is a little bit more injury prone than Khalil was coming out. But Kevon could make that kind of impact. And mind you, Khalil Mack is one of the great defensive players of our generation. It's just that he's been overshadowed by the greatest defensive player of our generation in Aaron Donald. But nonetheless, that's who I believe Kevon really mirrors. His game, his size, his strength. That's what we would be getting if Kevon drops to 5. Now, why do I believe that Kevon is going to drop to 5? Easily. In the NFL Combine, there's a lot of hype. A lot of guys tend to jump up the board at any moment. Giants have the number 5 and the number 7 pick. Now, we may trade back on one of those picks, but after the Combine and those Georgia boys really made an impact, such as Jordan Davis, of how big he was and how athletic and running the 40 time, and even Trevor Walker put on a showing where he may even jump up into the top 5. Now, also, let's not forget Malik Willis. There wasn't a quarterback in this draft that people really felt that would be a first rounder, but Malik Willis has shown where his potential can potentially be. He can really be the breakout superstar in this draft class from the quarterback class, of course. Now, Kenny Pickens is more of a standard, what you see is what you get, but Malik Willis can have a lot of teams fantasizing what he can potentially be. With all that being said, Kevon, who has been consistently great, has been sliding down the draft board. Now, I've seen him mocked even as low as 7. So the Giants passed on him at 5 and actually got him at 7. I don't believe that he'll drop to 7, but if there are, it's just 4 teams ahead of us. If just one of them takes or one of them trades, somebody gets somebody out of the blue, like if Trevor Walker really do step up and the Lions go ahead and grab him, Kevon may just slip. I mean, if Evan Neal's go number 1, now everything is all out on a whack. The NFL draft is so unpredictable. Guys drop from being the top 10 prospect, drop to the later rounds. Guys that's in the mid rounds usually go second round. I mean, that's how we got Xavier McKinney and Azeez Ojulari. So the NFL draft is unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen until it happens. But it is the likelihood that Kayvon will drop to 5. And if he drops to 5, I pray that the Giants, Joe Shane, and the Giants organization makes the right decision, pull the trigger, and get your elite defensive pass rusher that we've been clamoring for years. Now, if you agree with me, hit that sub. If not, I'll take a like. But until next time, I'm out.